and that you had an amazing day so far. All right, so for today, with today's lesson, we are doing our grade 7 English lesson on homophones. So we're going to find out what homophones are and also how we will eventually also test ourselves based on how well we know what homophones are. All right, so now before we go on to what homophones are, you're going to log into the A plus students.ca page. Once you've logged into A plus students.ca with your username, with your username as well as your password, and then you're going to select the subject of language arts, and then we scroll to grade 7. All right, so once we have selected the subject of language arts, grade 7, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of homophones. We're going to click on homophones. And under the chapter of homophones, we're going to be focusing on the lesson of use the correct homophone. Right, so we're going to use the correct homophone. And before we use the correct homophone, we need to know what a homophone is. All right, so let's go into it. Okay, it says homophones, right? Homophones are words that sounds the same, but they have different spellings as well as different meanings, right? So homophones are words that sounds the same, so the sound is the same, but the spelling is different as well as the meaning of these words, right? So once again, homophones are words that sounds the same, the spellings are different as well as the meanings are different of these words, right? And here we have an example, right? Here we have buy, and buy, right? These three words, right? They sound the same, right? So if I say buy, then buy can mean anything, right? Buy can either mean like the first one where it says I pay for something, right? Where you give money and you're either buying lunch or you're buying a toy or you're buying your friend a gift, meaning you need to go to the shop, you need to go to the store, and they will basically do the exchange in giving you the item and you need to give money, right? So that is buying. So buy. Pardon. And it says, my friends and I buy lunch at school, right? Which means that it's either it goes on your tab or you need to physically give money, right? But you are buying lunch at school. Another word which is buy, because like I said, if I use the word buy, then buy can mean anything, right? Because yeah, in this like this example, we have three different words that means buy. Not means buy, but that is buy, right? Where the words they sound the same, but the spelling but they have different spelling and the meanings are also different, right? So we already mentioned the one buy or the first buy, which is to buy, meaning you have to pay, right? You either have to give money or you pay with your card or with a checkbook, right? That is the same as paying for something, right? And only once you've paid for something, that is when you'll be able to get the item, right? Then we have another word which is buy, right? Which means near. So by means near. It's like saying that we all eat together by the big tree. It's like saying over there by the big tree, near that big tree, we are going to be sitting there, right? Then we have another word which is bye. And this bye is short for goodbye. So instead of saying goodbye, you can just say bye, right? And we say bye to each other when the bell rings, meaning that we are leaving. Either we're going to different classes Or we are heading home. I'll see you tomorrow. So goodbyes. Instead of saying goodbye, you just say bye, right? So in this case, bye, right? Bye is it's homophone. So there are homophones. And these are words that sounds the same, right? But they are spelt differently, as well as the meaning of these words are different, right? So homophones are words that are sounding the same, but they have different spellings as well as different meanings, right? Those are homophones. And we made an example of buy, and buy, right? Sounds the same, spelling is different, as well as the meaning of these words are different. All right. Here it is. If we look at the given sentence, right? We need to complete the sentence with the correct homophone, right? And we said homophones are words that sounds the same but have different spellings and meanings, right? Dr. Duran has what whom she has been treating for more than 20 years. So a doctor, right? So doctors have who? Doctors have patients, right? So they have patients. But with patients, we have two different words that are spelled differently, right? We have patients and we have patients. So that's almost like patents, right? So here we have two words, right, that sounds the same, but the spellings as well as the meanings are different, right? So patience. So in this case, Dr. Duran, right, has we need to use the word patience, whom she has been treating for more than 20 years. So with a word, right, that sounds the same, but the pronunciation no, that sounds the same, sorry, but the spelling and meaning is different, you now need to know the spelling of certain words, especially when we are busy doing homophones. Otherwise, you will get confused as to what word really matches the correct sentence, right? Because sometimes we know what the meaning of the word is that matches the sentence, but the spelling of the word will either show that it's incorrect if you get the spelling wrong. Like in this case, patience and patience. So the first patience, which is oopsie, which is Patience. So the first patience, right, is to do with the ability to wait for something without becoming annoyed or upset. It's like saying that you are a patient person, right? You're not easily annoyed or upset. You like waiting. That is patience, right? With that ends in CE. Then we have another word, patience, which is Patients, right? And that patients are people who are receiving medical attention, right? So if we were to choose the correct spelling or the correct word with the correct meaning that matches the sentence, Mr. Duran has patients whom she has been treating for more than 30 years, 20 years, then we are going to choose the word patients, right? And patients are people who are receiving medical attention. And who is giving the medical attention? The doctor, which is Dr. Duran. And she's been giving them the medical attention for more than 20 years. Not necessarily the same patient, but patients. All right. Let's look at the next one. Given that there were more than 100 guests at the wedding, how many presents do you think Maria and Liam have received? Right? Which means that we need to add the word presents, right? And in this case, they're giving us two options, or let's say two words that are that sounds the same. Spelling is different as well as the meaning is different. So we have presents and we have presents. Oopsie. Let's erase that. And presents, which is Present. So these are the two words. One of these words matches the correct sentence, right? Or matches the sentence. So given that there were more than 100 guests at the wedding, how many presents do you think Maria and Liam have received? So the first presents, right, which is Presence, the first word presence, right, it means the state of being in a particular place, right? The state of being in a particular place. It's my presence, right? And then we have presents, right, which means gift. So if we match these two words, right, that are spelt differently with different meanings, but they sound the same. If we were to choose one of these words that matches the sentence that says, given that there were more than 100 guests at the wedding, how many presents do you think Maria and Liam have received? It is not talking about the state of being in a particular place. They are talking about gifts. So if they're talking about gifts, because when you go to a wedding, you need to take a gift, right? Then it means that we are talking about presents, which is Presents. Presents. Then it means that we are referring to that presence, not the presence, which is Presence, that refers to the state of being in a particular place. Nope. We are talking about gifts, right? And gifts that the couple received on their wedding day. All right. The highest, we need to choose the word peak. The highest peak in Ethiopia is Ras Dashen, which has an elevation of almost 15,000 feet. So we need to choose the correct peak, or the word peak. And the words peak and peak are homophones, right? So we have the one word peak, which is Peak, and then we have Peek, right? And both of these words, they sound the same, which is peak. The spellings are different, as well as the meanings are different. So the first word peak, which is Peak, it is the top of a mountain. It is the peak. And then we have peek, which is Peek, which means to look quickly or secretly. It's like you're peeking, you're looking through something secretly. Usually they would say peek would refer to looking through a small little hole, right? Peeping or peeking. Now, if we match one of these words, which is peak, to our sentence, which is the highest peak in Ethiopia is Rash Dashen, which has an elevation of almost 15,000 feet. Then it means that we are going to choose the word Let's quickly go here. Oopsie. Then it means that we are going to choose the word peak, which is Peak, right? Which is the highest peak in Ethiopia is Rashtashen, which has an elevation of almost 15,000 feet, right? It shows the top of something, right? All right. And once again, homophones, it is words that sounds the same, but have different spellings and meanings, right? So remember, homophones are words that sounds the same, right? But the spellings are different as well as the meanings of these words are different. Let's go to our test where we use the correct homophone. Henry mixed blue and red dye. We need to choose one of these words to create a rich purple hue, which he used to color the white tablecloth. Is it dye, which is DIE, or dye, which is DYE, right? So these two words, dye, it is homophones, right? It is homophones because it sounds the same. It's just that the spelling as well as the meanings are different. So if we choose the correct word, then of course we're going to choose the second word, which is die, because the first word means die or dead, right? So dye is to create a different color to either cloth or our hair or something, right? So dye, which is the second option. So if you have the second option, then well done. A reporter asked Chinese speed skater Meng Wang how it felt to win her first Olympic medal or medal at the Turin Games. So we need to choose one of these words. A reporter asked Chinese speed skater Meng Wang how it felt to win her first medal at the Turin Games, right? So if we choose the correct word, then we will go with middle, right? We'll go with middle because metal, it is almost like an iron piece. It's a piece of iron or something, right? So we'll go with middle. If you have middle, then well done. Well done. The highest peak, Peek or Peak, in Ethiopia is Ras Dashen, which has an elevation of almost 15,000 feet. The highest peak, Peek or Peak. All right, so we will choose the second option, which is Peak, right, which shows the highest or top of a mountain or top of something. And the first peak, right, it means to look through something secretly. All right. You seem distracted today. So I'm wondering if there's something on your mind. So seem, SEAM or SEEM. We need to choose the correct seem where this person is distracted. You seem distracted today, so I'm wondering if there's something on your mind. All right, so we are choosing the second scene, second option scene, right? Because the first option is to do with garments. All right, so well done. Then, given that there were more than 100 guests at the wedding, how many presents do you think Maria and Liam have received? Is it the first one, which is presents or prisons? All right, so if we choose the correct word, right? Um, which is presents, that is to do with gifts, then we will choose the second option, right? Because they received presents, which is gifts. The first presents, which is ends with CE, it is to do with someone being there. All right, right. So that is basically using the correct homophones, right? And we only did a few, let's say, questions in the test, right? Just to test us a bit on using the correct homophones, right? All right, so once again, we said homophones are words that sounds the same, but the spelling as well as the meanings of these words are different, right? All right, now let's quickly go to our whiteboard, right? So these are homophones. And they say homophones, right? So homo means same and phone means sound, right? Which is homophones, meaning that they sound the same, but the spellings as well as the meanings of these words are different. And here we also have examples, right? So we have a few examples, which is eight. It's like we are eating something, right? So eight and eight, which is a number eight. So these two words, it sounds the same, which is eight and eight. However, the spelling as well as the meaning of these words are different. So eight is like eating, and eight is a number. Then we have right and right. Right and right. So the first word means right, it is correct. That is what the first word means. And the second picture or word, write, it is where you are either writing in your diary, you're writing a letter, you're writing a test, right? But you are writing something with pen to paper. And then we have C and C. C and C. And the first C, which is SEE, that C refers to when you either see or you look at something, right? That is why they specifically show an eye. And in the second C, which is SEA, it is to do with the sea, the ocean, right? So these are but a few homophones, right? And they said homo means same and phone means sound. All right, so here we have some more homophones, right? There we have pail, which is like fetching a pail of water. And then we have pale. It's like usually somebody who is like very light skinned, right? We would say that that person is pale. Then we have tail, right? Tale can either be a story, and remember, it is a story that you tell. It's a made up story. And then we have tail, which either refers to a kitty cat's tail or dog's tail. Then we have male and male. Male as in female and male, and another male, which is letters, right? That you receive or you send. And then we have whale, whale, which is a fish, right? A big fish in the ocean. And then we have whale, it's like somebody's crying. And then we have grate and grate. Grate is where we are either grating our cheese, mozzarella cheese, parmesan cheese. We are grating it before we either make a nice pasta or whatever that you're going to be making. And the second grate means like we're saying, I am great, thank you. I am doing very well, right? It shows that you are doing excellent. That is great. Or like saying great job, right? Doing very well. And then we have sail and sail. So the first sail is to do with a little boat. You're sailing either on the dam, the ocean, on a little boat, right? And then we have sale is where things are marked down, either to get rid of it or because they are bringing new stock. All right. So now if we look at these words, right, which is homophones on this page that you see in front of you, right? All right, make it a bit bigger. We need to choose the correct homophone in brackets. The newspaper, is it addition or is it edition, was very popular. We need to choose one of these words which matches the sentence. So the newspaper, this newspaper edition or this newspaper edition was very popular, which means that in this case we're going to choose the correct one, which is the newspaper edition, because addition means to add on. They tried to bury the evidence in the backyard. They tried to bury the evidence in the backyard, right? So if we were to choose the correct homophone or the word, then we will say bury, which is Bury. So well done. Yes, bury is correct. Jill wanted to buy 2 bags of rice for her family. BYE or BUY. Buy 2 bags of rice for her family, right? And if we choose the correct word between buy and buy, the first word buy, it's short for goodbye. And the second one buy is where it's like a form, like I said, it's a form of transaction where, or exchange, where you give money and then the store manager or whoever that is helping you, they are giving you the products or goods, right? So you are buying something. So we're going to choose BUY. So well done. The old man used a cane to walk around. A cane to walk around. We need to choose the correct word between CAIN or cane, which is CANE. So we need to choose the correct word to that completes the sentence. The old man used a cane. All right, so if we choose the correct word, which is a cane, we will choose the second option, right? The second option, which is CANE, which is cane. So good, well done. The aisle on the plane was full of people. Is it aisle as in AISLE or aisle as in ISLE? We need to choose the correct word. Aisle. Is it AISLE or ISLE? All right, so if we choose the correct word, then we will go with the first one, which is aisle, right? It's like walking down, passing the different rows on the plane. His wheelchair was broken. So is it wheel, WE apostrophe LL, or wheel, WHEEL, for wheelchair was broken, right? So we'll go with the second one, which is will, right? Because that refers to will, and will, almost like saying we will, right? So that is incorrect. The steel melted. The steel melted. Steel melted. We need to choose between the words steel and steel. So the first steel, which is STEEL, that is metal, right? It is metal. And in the second steel is where it's like we would say you steal money, you steal things, right? So we will go with the first option, the steel, which is metal that melted. So well done. So well done. All right. So that is but a few homophones, right? Where we had to choose the correct homophones within our sentences, and the correct homophone had to match the correct homophone within the sentence, right? And we said homophones are words that sounds the same, but the spelling as well as the meanings of the words are different. So it sounds the same, but the meaning of the words as well as the spelling of the words are different, and we call that homophones. All right, we're going to another example, or let's say another activity. All right, so if we look at another activity of homophones, right, they're saying here that the outcome is to recognize and use common homophones correctly in writing. So the different words are on the right hand side. We are now going to choose the correct word on the right hand side and matches it with the correct sentence, right? So we went to the supermarket. Is it TO or TOO? We went to the supermarket. All right. I'm not sure if it's blurring out, seeing that I am making it a bit bigger, but I made it a bit bigger. So two. So we need to choose. We went to the supermarket. So I'm not sure if that is clear. I hope it's not too blur. So two. We need to choose the correct word. You're welcome. So we went to the supermarket. So if we choose the correct word to, right, then we're going to say we went to the supermarket, which is TO, right? The other one too is like saying me too, right? But in this word, it is to the supermarket. The bear, the bear was looking for food. The bear was looking for food. Is it bear, which is BARE, or BEAR? We need to choose the correct word that matches with bear looking for food. All right, so if we are talking about the bear looking for food, we will talk about the bear, which is the animal, right? Because the other bear means, says if you have nothing on. There was a sunset over the sea, SEA, or over the sea, SEE. We need to choose the correct homophone or the word within to match the sentence. So there was sunset over the sea, which is ocean, or see. It's to see or to look. So we will choose the first one, meaning that there was a sunset over the sea or ocean. There were two cats on the wall? Is it two T-O or T-W-W-O? Two. So there were two cats on the wall. All right, so we will go with the two, which shows the number two or the amount of cats that was on the wall. Two cats. I could hear thunder in the night. Is it K-N-I-G-H-T or N-I-G-H-T? Night. The first knight, it's like saying, oh, my knight in shining armor, right? It's to do with almost like these soldiers. And then we have night, which is day and night. All right, so we will go with the second one, which is night. I could hear thunder in the night. All right. The sun shone all day. Is it sun as in S-O-N or sun as in S-U-N? We need to choose the correct word that matches the sentence. All right, so if we choose the correct word that matches the sentence, we will say it is sun, S-U-N, right? It is the sun that shines all day. And the second sun, which is S-O-N, it is someone's son, right? Which refers to your boy. The wind blew the washing on the line. Is it blue, which is B-L-U-E, or B-L-E-W? So the first one shows color, second one is the past for blow. All right, so we will choose blue. So the wind blew the washing on the line. Come here, said the teacher. Is it year as in H-E-R-E or year as in H-E-A-R? So year. All right, so we will choose the first one, which is year, right? Because the other year, it's to do with hearing, sound. The knight rode a white horse. With day and night, or night as in like a soldier, right? We need to choose the correct one. The knight rode a white horse. All right, so if we choose the correct one, we would say night, which is K-N-I-G-H-T. The tree's branches were bare. We now need to choose the correct bare. Is it B-E-A-R or B-A-R-E? Bare. The tree's branches were bare. There was nothing on, right? And if there's nothing, then we would say bare, which is B-A-R-E. The first bear, which we did not identify, it refers to an animal. I went to see my friend. I went to see my friend. Right? It's like going to your friend. See my friend. Is it C, which is S-E-A, or S-E-E-C? I went to see my friend. All right, so we're going with this option, which is C. It's what you see with your eyes. It's like saying you're going to visit your friend. The bee flew to the rose. Bee. Is it B-double-E or B-E? The bee flew to the rose. All right, so we will go with B. B-double-E. And they put their books away. Is it there which shows over there, or there which shows it is theirs, it belongs to them? All right, so yeah, we'll choose there, which is T-H-E-I-R. So, which means they put their books away, belongs to them. And I have one sister and two brothers. Is it one, which is WON, or one, which is ONE? All right, we are choosing one, right? So I have one sister and two brothers. All right, so these are homophones, right? And we said homophones are words that sounds the same, but the spelling as well as the meaning of these words are different. All right. So that is basically our old lessons, not even old lessons or worksheets, but that is an example of worksheets. Let us go to oopsie. Okay. Ooh. All right. I got to remove that other one. Okay, so now we're going to the next and the last one, right? This is a bit blur, and the more I'm going to zoom it out, it is going to be more blurry. I apologize for the line. I can't seem to remove it now. Okay, so now we have more words, right? Which sounds the same, but the spelling as well as the meaning of these words are different, right? This is our last worksheet or activity, right? Um, all right. What I'll do is I will read the sentence and then I'm going to write the two words that you need to choose from next to it, right? If that is going to be a bit better. So it says, I am not. Let me write the words for you. So I am not, we're going to choose between these two words. I am not allowed or allowed. Yes. So I am not allowed or allowed to drink soda. So we need to choose between these two words, right? So allowed. So we are going to choose the first one, allowed, right? It's like they're allowing you or they're not allowing you. So I am not allowed to drink soda because the other allowed it's to do with sound. Then we have my aunt. My aunt bought me a new bike. We need to choose between aunt or aunt. That basically matches that sentence, my aunt. So we're going to choose the second option, which is my aunt, which is AUNT, right? Refers to my aunt, which is either the sibling of my parent, someone that it's an older person that we look up to also, or the wife of our uncle. I was so hungry. I ate my entire dinner, right? So I was so hungry, I ate my entire dinner, right? So if we choose the correct one, we will choose ate. It's like eating, right? So ate is the past of eat. The other eight, it refers to the number eight. I got a new bat and ball, right? We need to choose between these two words. Ball. I got a new bat and ball last week. All right, so we will choose ball, right? Which is either bouncy ball, circular, right? and the other one refers to a bowl that we usually have cereal out of. Then Winnie the Pooh is a friendly bear. It's a friendly bear, right? So Winnie the Pooh is a friendly bear. We need to choose between bear and bear. So if we choose between bear and bear, then we will go with bear, which is an animal, because the other bear means it's almost like naked or nothing is on there. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? So we need to choose between B and B. All right, so we will say B, which is BE. The fifth question is bear. It is this one, bear, which is BARE, or bear, which is BEAR, which refers to an animal. Winnie the Pooh is a friendly bear. That is the fifth question. Winnie the Pooh is a friendly bear or bear. And then we chose bear, which refers to an animal. And then the sixth one is, what do you want to be when you grow up? So what do you want to be, which is BE or BEE when you grow up? And then we chose B, which is BE. Number seven is, I was stung by a bee. I was stung by a bee. So number seven is, I was stung by a bee. We need to choose between B, which is BE, or BEE. All right, so B, we will choose BEE. And then we're only going to do number eight, which is, eat that last green bean on the plate, or bean. We need to choose between bean or bean. So eat the last green bean on your plate. So we will choose bean, which is BEAN, right? Because the first bean is like saying, I've been here, but bean, BEAN, it refers to the green bean, right? Not this BEEN, right? Because BEEN, if you look at the difference or the definition of the two words BEEN and BEN, bean is the same. Bean is like B, right? So B over here, which is BEEN, it is B. All right. So that is basically the end, sorry, of our lesson on homophones. So thank you very much to everyone for interacting, for being interactive within our session. I really hope you enjoyed the session, and you should have an amazing evening further. Goodbye. You're welcome.